All right, guys, so I know I'm late on this one, right? But there's a reason. Because I do quite a bit of videos about The View and the silly things that they say, right? So much so that there are people in the comment section that actually think that I watch The View, right? And I'm like, oh, hell no. I can't have people thinking that I am a watcher of The View, because I, in fact, do not watch The View, right? I just see these silly clips and these stories that are posted online about the crazy stuff that they say. I look at the context, I read into it, and then I decide whether or not I want to actually react to it. So I decided, I was like, you know what, I'm not going to do this one because I'm giving my audience too much of The View, right? I'm giving you too much of The View. However, it is a Saturday, and I need things to talk about. So we're going to talk about this topic of Whoopi Goldberg coming out and basically spitting facts about how men are men and women are women, and men don't know what it's like to be women because we don't have eggs or a uterus or ovaries or any of that stuff. And I, in this situation, happen to agree with at least some of her rant here. Take a look.
Do any of you men have any eggs or the possibility of carrying a fetus? How dare you talk about what a fetus wants? You have no idea. Now, I'm fine if you disagree with abortion. I have no problem with that. My problem comes when you tell me what I need to do with my doctor and my family. How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah, so I can't lie, man. I cannot lie. I happen to agree with probably 80 to 90% of what she's saying here, right? Which is, as a man, I, in fact, do not have eggs, right? I don't have a period. I don't have ovaries. I don't have a uterus. I don't have a vagina. I have no clue what it's like to be a woman, right? I cannot pretend to be a woman, right? So you're right. I have no right to tell you how you feel, right, as a woman, okay? So I agree with her on this, okay? And I also agree about the fact that, hey, people don't have a right to tell me to make medical decisions that's supposed to be between me and my doctor, right? Whoopi spitting facts. She's spitting facts, okay? But see, the problem is that what she's saying is literally counter to everything that the left, the side of the aisle that she's on, goes out here and tells us every single day, which in this case is the idea that men can give birth, right? And also pushing vaccine mandates, which, by the way, apparently, I just learned this today, according to Merriam-Webster, if you're against vaccine mandates, you are an anti-vaxxer, right? Even if, you encourage people to get the vaccine and to be vaccinated, if you're against the government forcing you to do it, you're an anti-vaxxer, according to Merriam-Webster. Again, it's crazy how this stuff works. But going back to Whoopi's comments regarding biology, there was a lot of reactions from the right on this, in which people were calling her transphobic for saying that, right? And I've seen some people react to this and say, oh, the right is stupid for calling her transphobic because you're using leftist talking points in order to try to own the libs and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, listen, here's the thing, right? People that's on the right that's calling Whoopi transphobic over these comments, they're not doing it because they actually believe that the comments are transphobic, right? They're calling out the hypocrisy of her coming out here and basically affirming basic biology, something that the right gets smeared for as transphobic bigots for doing, right? That's the whole point. The whole point of using that talking point, the leftist talking point, in a satirical manner is to show them that what you're saying is not in line with what you've been preaching, right? And again, it's important because people that's on Whoopi Goldberg's side of the aisle, right, have been telling us that men can be women and women can be men. Now, specifically in this case, we're talking about the idea that women can be men. And because women can be men, therefore trans men are actually men, right? And it goes further than just saying, well, they can identify as a man, but we know what the biology is. No. They're going further than that. They're saying a woman who identifies as a man is in fact a man biologically, and men can get pregnant, right? That's what they're saying, okay? That's what they're saying. So when they say that and then Whoopi comes out here and says this, then that basically confirms what everybody on the right has been saying the whole time, that men and women are in fact not the same, right? And that women, biological women, cannot be biological men. The left has been trying to make that argument. They went beyond just, well, you can identify as a man, but basic biology is the same. They went beyond that, right? They're now trying to say biological women can be biological men. That's the argument that some of these people are making. So much so to the point where we've eliminated the term woman from our vocabulary, right? You can't say pregnant woman anymore. You have to say pregnant persons, right? That's what you have to say. So no, people that are calling Whoopi Goldberg transphobic in a satirical manner, right, to point out the hypocrisy, don't actually believe that she's transphobic, right? We actually agree with what she's saying. You're just pointing out the hypocrisy. Now, in regards to the actual substance of what she's saying, in the part that I actually disagree with her on here, which is about the whole, pro-life versus pro-choice thing and men not being able to tell women what they can do with their bodies. Listen, I look at it like this. I find it fascinating how the only time a man is not allowed to speak on what a woman can do with her body is when it comes to this subject, right? Specifically, if you're taking a pro-life position. If you take a pro-choice position, they don't have a problem with it, right? They don't care if a man speaks on it because they agree with them, right? They don't care about a man, Joe Biden, trying to mandate them do something with their bodies. They don't care about that, right? That in those situations, a man mandating something or a man forcing you to do something, right? Or to put something in a woman's body, that goes out the window. They only care about this situation, right? And the problem is that they're not really actually understanding the pro-life argument. They're not understanding it because they're trying to frame it as if it's about them, the woman, and it's not about them, the woman. It's about the potential life. It's not about them, right? It's about the life. That's what it's about. So they try to reframe the argument around, well, you want to control what a woman does to her body when that's not what the argument is about. Nobody really cares about what you do with your body. It's really about the fact that, no. We care about the life that is in your body, right? And whether or not it is moral to end that life just because a woman regrets the choices that she made, especially considering that we live in the 21st century where you have all types of contraceptives and things that can prevent women from getting pregnant in the first place. Now, I understand there are very, very, very rare situations where, a woman gets pregnant against her will. But again, we can make exceptions for those things. I'm not against that, right? I'm not against that, and I'm pro-contraception, right? But when it comes to women just being out here willy-nilly, getting pregnant, right? And then all of a sudden, they are, 20 weeks in, and they're like, I don't think I want it anymore. Like, come on. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the actual real argument, right? That's the argument that conservatives are making. They're like, no. At that point, this is a life. Right? We look at it the same way as we look at, a mother killing a baby that has been born, right? We would consider that to be murder, right? It's literally the exact same thing. That's the way we look at it. And nobody in their right mind would ever make the argument that it's none of my business to care about a mother that kills a baby that has already been born, right? Nobody would ever tell you that, hey, you shouldn't care about that, right? You should mind your own business. Don't tell a woman what she can do with her own baby, right? Nobody would ever say that. And again, I find it funny how she says, well, you don't know what a fetus wants. How can you know what a fetus wants? You're a man. And I'm like, you don't know what a fetus wants either, right? Just because you're carrying the fetus doesn't mean that you know whether or not it wants to live. You have no clue, right? So you're right. I don't know, but also you don't know either, right? You don't know either. Okay, so that argument, in my opinion, is irrelevant, right? It's irrelevant. But again, like I said, I find it so fascinating how the left gets so upset about this whole Roe v. Wade thing, because it's like, even if it's overturned, like, that's not going to ban abortions. It's just going to become a state issue at that point, right? That's what's going to happen. In states, particularly most likely red states that want to ban it, they'll probably ban it, right? And in states that want it, that want to allow it, blue states, they'll allow it. And that's will be the end of it. It's not like people still don't have access to it, because if you live in a red state and you actually really, really want it, right, then you can just go to a blue state and get it. And I'm pretty sure they'd be more than happy to give it to you, right? That's literally what would happen if Roe v. Wade is overturned. So it wouldn't be the end of the world like the left is trying to make it out to be. It just wouldn't. It would just be like red states can just do what they want to do with this thing now. And blue states can just do what they want to do with it, right? But again, for whatever reason, this terrifies people on the left, okay? And they act like women's rights are in danger over, Roe v. Wade or this issue. And it's really one of those things that is very confusing to me, right? I really don't get it because I'm just like, we have so many contraceptives to like, you don't have to be put in that position, right? You literally don't have to get pregnant. It is preventable, right? Very, very preventable. So why even put yourself in a position like that in the first place? That's how you actually avoid even have to deal with it, period. Okay, period. So yeah, Whoopi, I agree with you when it comes to basic biology, okay? And when it comes to the government not trying to make decisions for you, that should be between just you and your doctor. However, I think when it comes to the whole pro-life versus pro-choice thing, I think that you're framing the argument in a bad way, right? And the left tends to do that when it comes to this issue because they don't want to engage in the philosophical and moral argument around the actual life that's in the mother's womb, right? They don't want to engage in that. They want to make it about the woman, and it's not about the woman, right? That's not what the argument is about. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.